The Falls Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. For the most intriguing wrestling stories and info on independent shows in multiple regions, nobody does it like We Talk Wrestling. Subscribe to Facebook's #1 interactive community for professional wrestling today. Pro wrestling on Tuesdays are a blast with the Wrestle Talk podcast. Join the entire crew every Tuesday at 7 p.m. as they bring their takes on the major circuits, showcase interviews with various indie stars, and news on the #1 fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. Visit them at facebook.com/WrestleTalkPodcast and at WrestleTalkCast on YouTube and X.
All of us here show appreciation and love to our first responders, military, and volunteers that help our nation as well as protect and serve us every day. Thank you for all you do.
Get ready for episode number 162 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. As this week, we're bringing it back to the old school with our featured guest, discussing one of the greatest eras in professional wrestling, Wrestling at the Chase, and representing classic St. Louis wrestling memorabilia, Frank Murphy.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And good evening, everybody. We are here live back after an unexpected break. Well, we're ready to get the party started, though. And we're here this week with episode number 162 of the Falls Counts Everywhere podcast. And we're glad to see everybody here that's going to be jumping in. If you're watching the show right now, make sure you're sharing that show. Liking and subscribing as always. Like I said, we've got that. I've kind of put a little twist on at least on this scenes for the QR code, but I'm getting stupid, but just never mind me. I'm just changing colors.
Interesting.
So the stupid one here on the left, of course, is myself, Rough Cut Rick Ruby, and of course we got the Gem City Mouse, Zmiz. And it's been a while since I've seen you sport your own shirt, bud. It's good to see it.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's fading.
The shirt may be fading, but the logo never doesn't.
But man, one day we'll have those shirts out too. I promise.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, I mean,
because I'm the only one that has these two. Like, there's nobody else. It's just me. I have two. Man. There's two of these shirts. That's it.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. There's always possibilities for that to happen. Trust me, because. How do you think
We know a guy.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know a guy. Absolutely,
we know a guy.
Yeah, Yeah, great guy that's done all of our stuff. In fact, why not we just go and transition right into that? If you like this, if you want to get one of the most comfortable shirts ever made, this is it right here. And like I said, if I'm lying, I'm dying, and I've also got testimonies here as well. You'll find out here later on just shortly. But this is our official Falls Count Everywhere. And of course, the We Talk Wrestling shirts here represented by the Woke brand and Terry Rush Russell. Once again, that's the Woke brand. That's WHOAQ brand.com. Make sure you're scanning those codes. It'll take you right to the shirts.
God dang.
And like I said, if I'm at an event, I'm going to have them with me too. So you, instead of waiting to get one shipped to you, and if you see me at a show, you like it, just go ahead and buy one up. Same thing with the Zmiz.
Yep,
Anywhere that he goes.
I'm hopefully getting. I need to talk to Terry about getting an order put in so I can get just the WTW logo shirts. So the We Talk Wrestling logo shirts, they'll be eventually coming without the Prairie Dog. The Prairie Dog represents me. Sorry.
Oh, I could have sworn they were on the website on one.
They are. They are on the website. They still are.
Oh, okay.
I want some for like at the shows.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
But Terry does an awesome job with the Wolk brand. Big fan of the Wolk brand and Terry Russell. So big shout out to those great t-shirts.
Good evening, Herb. And
don't forget Jason, because
Jason. Yeah, Jason's trying
saying hi to Dad. Get those brownie points in, Jason. Say hi to Dad.
Shoot. Yeah, I was too busy talking, so sorry.
It's good to see those two gentlemen.
Yeah, as always. And but that's where you can get it. And of course, like I said, if you got any,
speak better about yourself, Jason. You are somebody.
Of course, he's somebody. Oh man, but what a crazy night though. If you've missed it here, what's up, Tex? I'll say hi. You know, he said it to you. It's like it's like I already see that bald headed bastard. It don't matter.
I love the big Tex, man. That's a good guy.
It's like I see that guy. He's like I see that guy all the time. Jeez, you know.
Right, brownie points.
Special brownie points, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh shoot! Well, what a crazy week that we're going into the end of September. Thank God it's getting cooler, man.
Oh, gosh. It's so nice outside. Wow. Like the windows again. Let the breeze blow in. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm going disc golfing tomorrow. That's for sure.
Bro, yeah, I know. I had to do a few things here today that I had to go out and go out and about, but I definitely had the windows down, and I didn't care what was hitting me, man. It was just a cool breeze going through. I mean, I did lose a bag out the window, but nobody's watching. So, I forgot I even had it because the wind got in there. And
yeah. I know about it.
Yeah. It's one of those ones that's like tucked under the seat. You didn't even know there was there, but next thing you know, it like comes up.
Vortex out of there.
Yeah, vortex out of there. And then hits
no brownie points for you.
Yeah, it catches the antenna of an 18-wheeler. So, I'm like, whoops. Oh, man. And it's like I said, the temperatures are going to plummet even more. So we're not even get a smooth transition. We're just going to go. Yes. We're going to plummet.
I said it to a lady the other day at the store. She's like, it's so nice being cool. I'm like, yeah, you guys wanted this weather. I want 30 degrees again. Right. I'm one of those guys. I want it cold.
Right. Well, like I said, we're wrapping up September. We're going to go right into October, and we're going to be mentioning the shows that we're going to be at. That's going to involve us pretty much, and then but at least I plan on attending if I can, because on the personal side here, my kid is going to be going to homecoming. So hopefully if we can get ride situations and everything else taken care of, then I will be at this. If you guys missed SICW All-Star Wrestling just right before we came on the air here tonight, go back and watch it. It's going to be quite interesting. So you'll know the backstory when you go and see SICW back at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds, by the way, this Saturday, with doors opening at 6 and bell time is at 7. Two big events here with the contract signing. Apparently for a new direction with SICW, this involves with Herb Simmons, and this also involves with Stephen E. And kind of intrigued to see what's going to go on. I have no clue what's going on, but I see a lot of the things I see. It's like, it's like 2024 has been really on a tilt for me. Like it's like, Like, what? It's like, where's it going to go? So that's going to be happening this Saturday. And of course, we have once again Kowalski is getting a shot at the SICW Classic Championship, but this time there's no disqualification. So you know what can happen in a no disqualification match? Just about anything. So,
and when it happens with Big Texan and Kowalski, man, those two behemoths are going to be using anything and everything. They're mean dudes.
They could be using
offense,
anything
Big
and
Texan.
everything, but also, Lucky P. Larson, I believe, is going to be handcuffed to the ring post.
About time.
But he's got a whole Dogtown Underground with him, and there's no DQ. So I'm just saying, Tex, you better have some backup.
My faith is on Tex, 100%. 100%.
When you get an army, it's kind of hard to fight them off. So, so that's this Saturday, and well, I'm just kind of I don't know what's going to happen until after that. I mean, October is going to be pretty much a shaky month for me. So, well, if they're come help, yeah, I guess I'm going to have to, because I mean, honestly, I don't know how I feel about a foreign control over an American traditional professional wrestling organization that tries to keep it old school. It's like, I don't know. Everything I do is like food reference here, and I just feel fat when I do it. But yeah, it's kind of like when Hostess got bought out and then they tried to bring it back again. And it was just nothing but crap. It's just like nobody wants to buy Hostess anymore if they know what's good for them. So that's why I say, I just feel fat just making a reference like that. But anyway.
It's like when IHOP tried to sell burgers.
I haven't tried Arby's burger yet, but because it's like roast beef, which is not really roast beef, but I'm not going to pull a Taz either, but I'm just saying.
You've already digressed. You're already there. You've already pulled the Taz.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying all I can not to do it, but oh man. Yep. Hey, trust me, there's a lot of fighting family members that's going to be there in Belleville this coming Saturday. So definitely going to be interested to see what happens here. So following Saturday, October 12th, for the Zmiz is IUW Granite City, and it's Phase 3 algorithm. The algorithm change in times now.
Yes,
and I do have the correct poster up here. Thank you. Doors open at 6, bell times at 7 now, so it's going to start an hour later than what they have been. Yep, absolutely. It's been a family organization, especially with the Simmons in there with SICW. So same thing applies here. At the door, adults is $15. Kids are $5. You can save $3 by going by scanning that code. Once again, that's part of Ticket Leap. You're going to the Illinois Elite Wrestling.ticketleap.com is where.
And if you go on over Sean Valiant, wrong wrestler. Sean Valiant just had a promo posted on IEW's Facebook page calling out his challengers. So big matches starting to already brew. They're already starting to get heated with each other. It's going to be a good show.
Damn.
No.
Somebody doesn't like Sean Vincent, apparently.
That's fine. Sean Valiant is doing a great job. He's a young up and comer. He's really making a mark in IEW. He's taken on that dirty, dastardly Justin Poole. So.
Yeah, I happen to agree there. Yeah, he's dirty. Just joking.
It should be wind up be a good show. That's just one of our many matches that have been announced or is being announced. Speaking of that dirty dastardly Justin Poole, pulling his best Joe Hendry.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, man. Sean looks pretty good in that the promo they posted today. You better be ready there, Poole.
I I just got to do this first part because of that happening.
Say his name and he appeared.
Believe in trash. I love it. I love it, dude. I love it. I love it. That's funny.
So instead of clapping, do we headbang? I don't know. I don't know. I can't.
Don't get Justin ideas. Don't get Justin ideas.
There's no reason for me to headbang. It's just like a moving thumb. I have no hair. So.
That's Ruby.
Yeah. Thumb can go on wild. One more show we're going to talk about here, and that is actually on October 19th. And that is for ACW. This is the ACW's Super Show. That's going to be at St. Clair. Two big things are happening this day. One, we're going to hear is the Gauntlet of Glory match. So this is going to have ACW World Title implications, which right now we're kind of not really too clear on with me. I had to kind of go back and kind of catch things, but there's a lot going on with that. But the Gauntlet of Glory match it's a touring event, so it's either if the title is vacant by the time this match happens, then it will be for the ACW World Championship. There could be a chance that the ACW title is decided in the match before this happens. So, and then also this is the farewell event for the Lumberjacks. So the Lumberjacks are having their last match and trying to finish out their careers going out on top as tag team champions, and of course being for ACW. So this is a big event. Now also, I do not have the actual poster what happens here, but the thing here is the prices have gone up for this big event. So front row is now $15. General admission is $10, but there's a lot going on for this night. There's a big send off for the Lumberjacks, and of course, with all the other matches going on. So, but that's pretty much. I'm going to be involved with that, and then we'll have more to come as far as that is concerned, and we'll have some other announcements here too. We're actually getting back on track here as far as booking our shows here, and hopefully we'll have October booked out here very shortly. It's just we got at least half of it, at least first half of October booked. So but no, that's pretty much what we got going on as far as the upcoming events here. And of course we're going to be putting down the tickers for the results for the major brands as far as what's happened this week, and we'll get to that at the later part of our show. But at this point, we are ready for our guest tonight, man. We are stoked. So our gentleman here. So our guest here tonight is a gentleman who is taken the love of professional wrestling and made a hobby of collecting not only just general memorabilia, but focusing on more of one of the greater eras of professional wrestling, which is Wrestling at the Chase. So at this time, without further ado, please give a nice warm welcome to Mr. Frank Murphy, everybody. All right. Hey, Frank, what's going on, man?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, man.
This is like one of the most comfortable shirts I've ever owned in my life.
See, we told you.
See, there's a testimony right there, man.
I listen.
And he had to pay me to get the shirt, so I'm not paying. But no, man, that's I'm telling you, man, it's some good stuff. Just make sure it's got, I don't know, it's some special care to it. So yes, absolutely, yeah. So we're gonna be diving in a lot to our one of the great at least to me, one of the great eras in in professional wrestling history. I mean, that, and of course, there's reasons behind that to back that up. But before we get diving into that here, Frank, um, just kind of give a little backstory how I got at least to talk a little more with Frank. Frank was actually part of the whole, was one of the crew that decided to go down to Las Vegas this past August for the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion. And me and Frank got to talking a little bit more about the business in general, as far as each other's past in just in wrestling in general, and just had a really cool time, just kind of chit chatting and just having to enjoy the events. Man, are you still kind of up there from that trip? Was that your first time going out there as well?
Yes, it was. That was my first time out there. First time in Vegas. First time
Damn.
at the CAC. So it was quite an experience, especially Fremont Street.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to say what happens in Vegas.
No, we won't. Exactly.
Days in Vegas, but
Yeah.
there's things that happen in Vegas that we hope that doesn't happen again in Vegas. Like,
Right.
The Fremont Street experience is definitely different stories for others to tell.
Yeah, that's for a different podcast.
Yeah. Let's just say you're kind of putting yourself out in trouble if you're out at 1 o'clock in the morning and of course the alcohol is flowing pretty.
Yes, Amy, I did.
You would have thought. You would have thought. Yeah. But let's just say.
And they weren't Texas.
Yeah, man. No, Fremont Street, man. That was a whole experience in itself, and but what a hot week too, boy. I mean, not like St. Louis weather hot, but it's just like the desert heat hot, man. Did I see?
Yeah, I think I saw Herb a couple times. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We know. I mean, we knew where the spot was at the Plaza Hotel and Casino, at a certain bar in a casino. Yeah, so we knew where the spots were, and so. But man, what a great weekend that was!
It was definitely a great time.
Yeah, definitely something that should be on anybody's bucket list if you haven't gone. I mean, if you're definitely an old schooler in this business, you definitely need to. If you like the good old days of professional wrestling, this is definitely it. That's definitely it for you. So
yes, definitely.
So yeah. So I just got to find out what was the most favorite thing that, at least the best takeaway that you had out in Vegas out there. What was the best event that you had out there?
Gary Jackson's speech was freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Gary's was really good. I mean, it's just kind of cool to see a guy, at least for me, when I'm looking up there, that a guy I've been in the ring with on several occasions, to finally get up there and on the national platform to get his flowers, to get his recognition, and just probably one of the best speeches of that night, of night number 2. I mean, he definitely had he definitely got his respect from all the big guys in the business too.
Certainly did. Yes.
Man, no, it was a really good package they put together for him too. So
yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, because they have like a video package for all the guys. They have a presentation and everything else out there. So, so
getting to meet Sting was also, an awesome moment for me as well.
Oh man, yeah.
And hanging out with Tex and Bobby D and Rick as well.
we're just the cliff notes, but that's okay. It's I mean that's good. But see the big guys out there just having John Bradshaw and Layfield just walk back and forth right in front of you, and
Right.
you know,
And
at
he was
least he's
funny
not
as hell.
coming to clothesline it. Jeez, like he's
Right.
been in MLW and freaking GCW. You
Bro,
know,
he's
right,
been all
right,
over the
Steve?
place.
Yeah, and then of course in TNA as well. So, man. So man, that's I mean, talk about something that man, I mean that's who yeah, like I said, I know Z would love to go down and Z would be totally amazed by that.
I'd be
I
a
mean,
kid in a candy shop.
yeah,
Exactly. Yep.
yeah. Yeah, he could have outgamed all the kids out of the at the gaming center, get the gaming corner that was in a nostalgia room. You know, nostalgia room's got a gaming center, so it's like,
They
but,
have Here Comes the Pain. Everybody's screwed. Give me a few matches to warm up, and I.
right, right. Oh man, so let's get into let's actually get into the beef of the show here that I've got drawn up here. So to kind of start us off here, Frank, around what age were you drawn into professional wrestling as a whole? And what was it about wrestling at the Chase that drew you into watching them or giving them the most attention overall?
Well, I guess I was probably about 12 the first time I saw my first episode of Wrestling at the Chase. My first memory was they were talking about Harley Race taking the world title from Terry Funk. So that was my earliest memory of professional wrestling, was that era. Watched there every Sunday morning going forward and saw all the stars. Anybody that was anybody came through St. Louis during that era. And it was awesome. It was an awesome time.
Man, so do you remember the first match you watched, or at least like some of the guys that you saw in your very first episode when you got glued to the set with them?
I would say probably guys like Ted DiBiase,
Ooh,
Dick the Bruiser, David and Kerry Von Erich. This was before Kerry came along.
yeah,
Some of the matches that, like the infamous match with Harley Race and David Von Erich when David busted Race wide open with Iron Claw.
oh yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome times. I was never able to go to wrestling at the Chase itself down at the park, down at the plaza.
yeah.
But I did go to the Keel matches every other Friday night for
Yeah.
Years. My very first match was Ric Flair challenging Harley Race for the world title.
Man.
1 hour time limit. And I was hooked from then.
Man. Yeah. And people don't understand, like, these guys were talking, especially Harley Race, one of the toughest of all time in the industry, and him and Flair going an hour. I mean, like I said, you put them, you put Flair, you put Race, I'm sorry, not sorry, but Brody was tough as nails. And like I said, you guys that go like 60 minutes in captivating an audience, even to keep them in the match through the entire time to do that. So that in itself is an art form that is lost. And
They were terrific storytellers.
oh my gosh, yes. You got to know how to do that, because it's not about if you can get your spots in. It's all about what can you do to tell your story. And as far as you know, I mean, there's just so many pivotal parts in telling the story in the ring. So you guys keep coming in with these. You guys are killing me. Oh man.
I wish I was only 40 still.
Hey, you're only as old as you feel, right?
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. So I'll be retiring in 2 years. I'll probably be about 65 at that point. That's about how I feel right now. So, but no, yeah, but like I said, I mean, the St. Louis Wrestling Club, obviously that was all in wrestling at the Chase. Sam Muchnick. I mean, talk about a guy who should be put. I mean, obviously he's in Hall of Fames. He's should be noted as probably one of the greatest promoters of all time in that era, probably in that era. Of course, the business changes and evolves and everything else. But to make professional wrestling feel old school in the way it's should have been ran, sorry, Sam had probably the best territory in the NWA. I mean, and reason why he was NWA president for so many years, 41 years, I think, at one point. So, he was doing something right. So,
And
yeah.
and you hear any of those guys talk about Sam, they talk about how well respected he was. He was a man of his word. A handshake was all it took. And great payoffs. He was the man.
Absolutely.
So when you decided to get down and start collecting wrestling memorabilia, specifically wrestling at the Chase stuff, what was the piece that started it all? What was like the catalyst to the fire of your collecting?
It was probably the program from the first match that I went to at Kiel, the Flair versus Race title match. I just started, collecting. My dad had some friends that had a collection. I was able to get that collection from them, and then I've just added on over the years. And my oldest program is from 1959. Got it right here. So O'Connor lays title online. Thez hopes to knock it off.
Gosh, look at
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
Look at that beauty, man.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So that's from November 21st, 1959.
Man.
I mean, because I'm a fig guy. I never got into like the posters and stuff. My son, though, has started collecting posters from like local events that we go to or he goes to. He tries to get a poster each time. So it's really cool to see that idea and that premise of like the flyers and all that kind of stuff. There's some sweet old flyers out there.
Yes. and I know there's one guy that's on here commenting once in a while that has a ton of stuff that he needs to get the museum started for St. Louis Wrestling, a museum. I know he's got plenty of stuff that he can put in this museum, and I would definitely help out with that as well.
Big Texan asks, do you collect magazines too? Because that's actually one of the things that I do collect is the magazines.
Yeah, I did. I had probably well over 200 magazines from the early 80s through the 90s. And unfortunately, I ended up having to downsize, and I sold them all to a real good friend of mine. And he has all those plus some other memorabilia that I had, such as DVDs and books, stuff like that. But the programs I have hung on to, and I will hang on until the day I die.
And that man you were speaking of, Mr. Herb Simmons, said the one before that flyer was O'Connor versus Dick of 1959. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Man, like I said, I mean, getting a hold of all this, this to preserve it. I mean, originals back to from back in the day to keep it preserved for them. I mean, to up until this point. I mean, 79. Gosh, that's like I said, that's 65 years. So,
okay, before I was born, actually.
Well, Oh, at least,
I know you guys too.
at
Yeah,
least we can rule out. At least we can rule that out, right? So
right.
I mean, but no. So let me make sure if let's see.
Can we ask Texans? I'm looking through the things to make sure. Like, does
Yeah, I
that?
know. I
I don't see anything.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
I think we're good for that. So
Texan then goes on to ask, "What is your favorite piece that you have?"
My favorite piece is probably a program for the match that I was actually at that everybody says they were at in St. Louis. And that was the 1 hour draw between Flair and Brody at the arena.
All right, we gotta get down there and beat him up. I want that one.
Okay, I've got that. And the ticket stub to prove that I was there. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
and I've got all my ticket stubs from all the matches that I went to down at Kiel. I got them with the programs. It was an awesome time.
If it wasn't for
enough.
If it wasn't for Rick, Herb, Big Texan, and them, I've really dived into Brody's work because I never really, I'm from the later generation of fans.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Never really dug into it, but have been recently. And I'm a fig guy, so I collect the action figures, and I'm finally going to get my Brody fig hopefully here soon. It's sitting in the shopping cart, so I'll be adding a Brody here shortly to my collection.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Brody was one of those guys that, whether you loved him or hated him, he put on a hell of a performance every time he got in that ring.
Oh yeah.
Whether he was a good guy, bad guy, he could wrestle with anybody.
Man, absolutely. So we know that we're seeing some things here in our comments. So,
agreed, Texan. Agreed.
Yeah, before that, it was like, where do you live and what room do you put him in? Like, he's going to tell you where he's going to put his stuff. But like a lot of names, like several territories that come across, and a lot of names because our buddy Austin Cage, who's just observing tonight. Of course, he's been on our show here. So another big city, and of course, I can say that I've actually promoted in this town. Did you ever make it to the old Coliseum in Evansville? Because a lot of names ran through there. Did you mainly just stay in St. Louis, or did you go to any other territory for wrestling as well?
No, just St. Louis.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah. Born and raised here, so I didn't have really a reason to go anywhere else.
Yeah. Sorry, Jerry Jarrett. He just didn't feel like traveling 2.5 hours to go watch a show. So
exactly. Although I have recently done some of that stuff with my good buddy Don Simmons.
Yeah.
No relation to Herb and Jason, but he might as well be part of the family. He's at all the SICW matches.
Yeah.
But, we've done some traveling over the last few months, catching some other shows and trying to get more out there, see more of the new talent coming through.
Oh yeah, I mean, because obviously it's business evolves. I mean, it's evolving for the better for the most part. Like I said, you have to keep. I mean, you've got to keep the fundamentals of old school wrestling into a promotion these days. Yes. So, brother from another mother, perfect. Yeah. So we talked about
triangle now.
Yeah. So we talked about as far as like what your favorite piece was, but one thing I was kind of inquiring is, was there any piece of wrestling memorabilia that you've seen that of course that in particular references wrestling at the Chase that's not in your collection? If you did, would it be an item you're looking to bring to your collection? Like, is there anything that you've seen that you haven't gotten, like you've gotten your eyes on it, but it's not in your possession?
Just more programs. I've would like to get a lot of the older programs that I do not have. For example, anything from the 50s and 60s, from wrestling or from the Kiel Auditorium matches, Muchnick's era.
Boy, that's gonna be a
You know,
stretch.
that's a
I
tough
mean,
one. I know.
Might have to beat up Herb for some of those.
uh, I mean, you had to be careful. Oh boy,
See, I knew.
Oh,
I remember him talking about this one time.
boy, 1934. That was a standout year for. I mean, at least around here. I think the Cards won the World Series in '34, I believe. The old Gas House Gang, if I remember or recall. God, that's gonna be 100 years.
Yeah.
That's gonna be well. Should that? Oh, that's 90 years ago. Good lord, I can't add today. Never mind. I'm trying to add 10 years onto where we're at now. No, yeah. So kind of you're looking more into like older programs. I mean, have you seen older programs, even if it's just something like not in person? Like, have you?
Yeah, I've seen a few on Amazon, and of course they get a little bit pricey, of course, because they're old. One of the good things is author Scott Teal has put out a few volumes of the old programs from like the 40s and 50s that he has printed from his private collection that he has, and it's got some stuff going back like even before Sam Muchnick, the Tom Pax era, who Sam worked for, then split from to start his own promotion back in the 40s.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
So that brings up like more of what Jim's saying here is now I want you to make a book of all these programs like that I can go through and look at like, man, that'd be sick.
That would be, yeah. See, that's one of the things that I did start a Facebook page called Classic St. Louis Wrestling Programs. It started about 6 years ago, just, for shits and giggles, and ended up got 2,100 people that are members of it now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And there's other people they are also posting their old programs and old posters and sharing their memories, and it's been really cool to see all these old people or all these other people that share the love of the St. Louis wrestling from that era, that Sam Muchnick era.
Oh man, that's good. I mean, when you see other people adding their stuff onto your page, which by the way, we always try to share our shows to that page anyway, every week. But just trying to looking at some other content here, like because you were talking about older programs here, like Luthez. I mean, we're talking like 30s and 40s here. I'm wondering if, like the promotion he had, if he had programs too, with his organization that he was in, because obviously he was in there before Sam got his hand into the business. So
right, he was part of the Tom Pax organization is where he got his start, and I don't have any of those programs, but that is in the books that Scott Teal has put out. Some of those actual programs.
Right. And then also, because I know my book is on one of my shelves over here, but about a few years back, there's like the year in Memphis wrestling in 1982. They had like a weekly circular. Between that, they had like a newsletter, plus they had programs. When they did for the Mid-South Coliseum, and there's got like all the all the print in there, and then there are also some backstories. And I actually had Jerry Lawler sign it about when he was in town a few years ago, so I got that on my shelf. Just some cool stuff just to look through, even if it's something copied onto like a sheet of paper, just to even look at it. I mean, it's pretty much black and white, but I mean, the thing I like about yours though is that you got the actual form of the paper that's got like the old weathered look to the paper, and then of course also when the color print that came out in it too.
Mhm.
So just seeing that is still pretty awesome.
I have gotten a few of them autographed over the last couple years, thanks to the guys that Herb has brought in, the last two
Yeah.
fan fests, and some of the matches, meet and greets that he's had at some of his matches. So I've got some autographs on some of the old programs as well. And I remember, I guess it was 2 years ago, I had one. Tommy Rich was over in East Carondelet for a match, and I had a program that he was supposed to wrestle Bob Orton, and it was Tommy's first time in St. Louis, and he no-showed the event. But I had him sign it anyway, and he's looking at it, he's like, "I wrestled in St. Louis?" Like, well, no, not really, because you didn't show up. He goes, "Well, yeah, that's probably accurate."
That's accurate.
So have you had a chance to ever, you got some autographed and stuff? Have you had any appraised and stuff to see what their value is and what's your most expensive one?
I have not. I have not had anything appraised. Haven't really thought about anything like that. I'm sure there's some value to them. They are originals, and I'm sure there's not a lot of copies out there. I know Herb's got some really nice ones that are bound that he was given to him by Larry Matisic, which is awesome. And but I'm sure there's some value to them.
Yeah. But probably, like you said, something like this is a classic timeless piece. These are timeless pieces here of an era that, to me, would have a price tag on it. But of course, that's just me, because I know, as far as like the eras of this business is, some things you can put a price tag on. This is definitely not one of those. To me, it ain't.
Whoa, Herb. Whoa!
I know. I just saw
back the bus up. You better tell the wifey that we, as your, I wouldn't say disciples, but like your cohorts of fandom in this wrestling world. I would beg to differ. I will come to your funeral just to get those and say my piece and goodbye.
I'm going to have a talk with Mickey.
We need an intervention now.
We're gonna rent a Pods Cube, and we're gonna come to the house and just clear everything out, and then we'll sort it out later. But don't burn it, for crying out loud.
All right, Jason's got her back.
Hide those.
Yeah.
Be ready, Texan. Be ready.
Yeah. You ever heard of a he shed and a she shed? Well, this is a media shed. We'll build a media shed. We'll just put it over there. But don't burn it.
So within your opinion, during the Chase days and the heights of it, who were the best bad guys, good guys of that era, in your opinion?
Best bad guys. Top of my list would probably be Dick Murdoch.
Oh yeah, good one.
Talk about a great interview. Slamming Sammy Muchnick. Let's see, other bad guys. Von Raschke, who he did not go as he was not allowed to use Baron in St. Louis as part of his name. It was just Von Raschke. You had guys like Crusher Blackwell.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the most agile big men that I've ever seen.
Very true.
Brody, when he first came to St. Louis, great bad guy. Harley Race was considered a bad guy for years, in St. Louis. Good guys, you got Von Erichs, Ted DiBiase. I've saw Ted DiBiase and Ric Flair go to 1 hour draws. They put on a wrestling clinic, those two guys.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
Ted DiBiase is one of my favorites of all time. Like, To me, he's one of the best professional wrestlers, period. So
Exactly. Why he was never NWA champion, I will never know.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't know if there was. I mean, I don't think he got anything more than the Missouri title. I don't think he got anything else other than that. But no, I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of weird because you see these guys, get these work in these 1 hour draws, and then years later they'll cross paths. They'll work in the same promotion, yet they won't really work one another. And it's like you just don't know what you were missing, back in the days. But then you can't put an hour draw on TV because no one else will get a chance to get airtime. So, yeah, I guess
I beg questions there now.
Yeah,
stories for another day, probably.
Probably so.
I mean, there's a reason I had the money title, man, because Ted DiBiase is the dude, in my opinion.
Right.
Like, him and Flair.
Herb had some DVDs out from Wrestling at the Chase that had a great feud between Big John Studd and Ted DiBiase that was just on fire.
The reason I like Ted so much is how he could. I'm a stick guy, so if you can cut a good promo and you can enthrall me in that way, like you could dance around the ring and I'm probably going to love you, and it's great. And that's what he had. He had that ability to be on the microphone and cut a promo that you're like, you either wanted to cheer for him or he wanted to hate his guts and couldn't despise him. And then when he's in the ring, he's doing that kind of stuff. Like he might do the punch and then like talk to the crowd and run his mouth. Like the way he just captivated you, there's not many guys in today's world that can do that, in my opinion.
Right. Without it being written for him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, the way he story told was beyond people, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so what we're gonna do now here though is we got something special this week for all of our viewers, and we are actually going to be because Frank also he does a lot of medias. He said he saves different types of media, so I've been graced upon to have some of this media. And we're going to play a couple of snippets here because we've mentioned, names we've mentioned here already with Ric Flair and with Dick the Bruiser. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and bring in, at least we're going to look at this photo here, and we're going to play you just like an interview first with Flair, and then we're going to give her little takes on that, and then we'll see what we got for you afterwards. But just take a listen to the Ric Flair and his young. God, he's probably in his early 30s here at this point, around 30. I think probably just in his early 30s. Yeah. But take a listen here and see what you guys think about this.
St. Louis is going to get the thrill of a lifetime. They're going to see the often imitated, often copied, but never equal, the nature boy Ric Flair when he goes up against Dick the Bruiser. That's right, St. Louis, my kind of town. Ever since the first time I ever walked into St. Louis, women falling at my feet, people saying, "Whew, is that really the nature boy? Oh my God, here in St. Louis?" Well, that's right. And this time I'm going to be there to wrestle none other than Dick the Bruiser. They tell me he's a legend of his own time. Yeah, you're a legend. You're the king of fat women. You hear that, Bruiser? The king of fat women. And since St. Louis has more fat women than any city in the world, I imagine you're a real big dude in St. Louis. That's kind of hard for the nature boy to understand. The nature boy be silent. Diamond rings, gold all over the place, the fanciest limousines money can buy, woo, and the most gorgeous shape. Follow me around everywhere I go. St. Louis is no different. Believe it or not, on all those fat women, there are a few thousand fine-looking ladies that just die, quiver, and shake all over with a thought that one night They might escort the Nature Boy into St. Louis. Woo! And then maybe out. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. St. Louis is the place. You and I, Dick the Bruiser, I've heard you insult me and say things about the Nature Boy. What are you talking about? I can't say what's on my mind. I can't say what I feel because they take this interview right off the air. But, Bruiser, you're going to be in the ring with the Nature Boy, the king of pro wrestling, the man that started it all. I beat Harley Race. I beat Dave Von Erich. I beat DiBiase. I beat them all. And now, brother, I'm going to climb the biggest mountain of them all. And in St. Louis, Bruiser, I'm going to take you. You know why? Because I want you. You know, I'm not just another pretty face. I am the man. And, brother, they all say the devil lives within inside Ric Flair. And the devil is going to come out. He's going to crawl out of me in St. Louis. And he's going to grab you, Bruiser. And he's going to twist you and grind you and hurt you. Because I want everybody in that building, woo, to hear the Bruiser say, I give up. And Nature Boy, woo, you are the finest thing in wrestling today. You understand that, St. Louis? Dick the Bruiser, the Nature Boy. History's going to be made. And Bruiser, baby, now, woo, you're going to be mine in St. Louis. Be ready. Woo!
So, man, talk about, you just give the guy a mic and he just goes at it, and it just the way he just changes demeanor and his tone, how he can get aggressive and mean, but then he'll step back and be flamboyant as well with that. So, yeah. So you recommended this. I mean, is this one of your better, or at least one of your most favorite?
My favorite promo from Flair of all time. Little backstory. This was before VCR recorders, and I used to sit there in front of my TV with a cassette tape player recorder and record the interviews. And I had all these on cassettes, and then about 10 years ago, I transferred them on to CDs. So I've got them all on CD now.
Man.
And I got like 5 volumes of them, and there's some, there's some.
Why are we not making copies and making you some money on this?
Because I have 3 ex-wives that would probably want some of it.
Touche. Dude, that's awesome. Because I can see his mannerisms.
Exactly.
Like, I'm visualizing him just shaking his head. All guys. Flair's one of the greats.
Yes, definitely.
So we got to hear on Flair talk about Dick the Bruiser because they're getting up for a match around this time. So you would imagine we would have a rebuttal to this. And we do, from the one and only Dick the Bruiser. So let's go and take a listen to that. And this is just as entertaining as what Flair just has. So just take a listen to this one.
Dick the Bruiser had to do some chasing today as Tommy Sharp kept diving out of the ring. But Dick, when you square off with Nature Boy Ric Flair in a lumberjack match, it's going to be like a springboard out there. He jumps out, they're going to bounce him right back to you.
I did this purposely. This young wrestler's a great kid, and I intimidated him, and I made him get out of the ring. For one reason, I wanted to show you people just what I'm going to do to Flair, to Ric Flair. Let me explain one thing. I'm an athletic supporter. I've supported athletics for years. Football, baseball, basketball, and wrestling. I know what an athletic supporter is. I hear that Ric Flair wears pantyhose.
Dick the Bruiser making quite a controversial statement there, but Dick, Flair doesn't like when you say things like that about him. It gets him angry.
Remember, I know what an athletic supporter is. I've heard that Ric Flair wears garter belts. So when you put somebody that sticks up for his own rights. You know, Missouri's a show-me state. And I think that the few fans that I have know that Dick the Bruiser shows them just what's going to happen. Now, I want to tell you exactly what a lumberjack match is. A lumberjack match is where Dick the Bruiser thinks he's in a saloon. And someone's punched me in the nose just to get their attention. Then I proceed to punch them in the nose, tear out their ears, just to intimidate them and get them to jump out of the saloon or out of the ring. Now, what's going to be around the ring is going to be about 14, lady, will you shut up or I'm coming down there and intimidate you.
Finish your explanation.
There's about 14 or 16 wrestlers around the ring. They form a human cage. So when I intimidate or I beat up Flair, when I beat him up, Flair's going to jump out, and then he's going to be thrown back into the ring to the Bruiser. I'll continue doing that until I beat him till he can't walk, he can't talk, and he can't show you people anything. Remember, Dick the Bruiser, show me, and I'm going to show you a lumberjack match, which is all which it really is. It's a ring surrounded by human people, and they form a human cage. He can't get out.
Ric Flair, he won't be able to get out when he squares off with Dick the Bruiser in the lumberjack match. I personally would not care to be caught in the ring with the Bruiser with a human cage around me. Dick the Bruiser and Ric Flair, it's coming in St. Louis, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Yeah, well, you know, as far as having to retort with that, and the thing was like, the whole athletic supporter thing is the technical term for a jock strap, and that's why people are laughing. It was like, I'm a jock strap, you know. No, that's not what he meant. But he supports athletes, you know, in different sports.
Wearing pantyhose. He gave the best description of a lumberjack match.
Cage, yeah.
It's a saloon.
Yeah.
Is where I pretend I'm in a saloon. I love it. Yeah, this guy hadn't had any drinks, has he? He knows, but man, what a tough guy. So apparently, what was it that Herb said that Sam got mad at Bruiser for kind of shouting at that lady. Man, bro, why you got to do that? Austin, why I got to be related?
But yeah, he supposedly got in trouble. Well, he didn't get in trouble, but out of respect, he let it go.
Yeah, but I don't know. But
back then, Bruiser could do anything and get away with it.
No, because a lot of these guys are tough as nails.
Yeah,
you know, you look at
came
them
from a saloon.
Yeah, you look at this guy. You look at any of these guys funny, they're gonna punch you. You know, they don't care. like, what's your problem, Pump? You know, they don't care. The hair.
I'm not posting that one.
Bro.
I'm not posting that. You can beat of Austin later.
You're about ready to join somebody at the bottom, if you know what I mean. Z knows what I mean. But no, it's just some of these guys, and like I said, I've got a lot of good material here thanks to Frank Murphy. I'm going to take a listen to some of them because there's also some good interviews with Sam, and we may even start every so often here. We'll, like I said, you know, like Wrestling at the Chase Classic interviews. Maybe take a little moment of time to listen to some and just kind of take back on those.
Static, you missed a good segment there, buddy. You're gonna have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, you missed some good stuff, man. But no, there's just a lot of good material here, and just having the preservation to get these interviews from Larry Matisic and these guys just sitting down, and you just give them a mic, just get all they got to do is these guys, you give them an introduction, and that's all you need, especially when it came to Flair. So.
And there's some on there from guys like Dewey Robertson, way before he was the missing link. Eddie Gilbert is on there,
cool.
a young Eddie Gilbert. Looked like he was about 19.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Yeah. Eddie was not very. Eddie was not very. He was still pretty young when he passed. So yeah, like I said, we've got Kerry Von Erich, Greg Valentine. We even got the Soul Man Rocky Johnson on some of these.
What?
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. I mean, we've got
Say, baby.
Yeah. Mr. Wrestling 2. So we got a masked man talking here. So
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's Mr. America.
Yeah.
Wrong one.
Yeah, that Mr. Wrestling 2 one, that back during that time during the summer, Sam would not run matches during the summer, and so they didn't have any new TV tapings. So they would put in TV tapings from other areas such as Florida, New York, things like that. So you would see guys that wasn't normally in St. Louis, but I think Sam would use that as like try to get a gauge as to bringing in guys from other areas based on showing them in St. Louis during these out of town programs.
Yeah. So I mean, it's quite a catalog that I'll be more than happy to take a listen to, and just to see these names from the past and of through the annals of time, we've got this media. And like I said, every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern with SACW All Star Wrestling, you're going to get a snippet from Wrestling at the Chase, because we doing our best to preserve the best era, keeping everything old school, because that's the best way to go, at least on the independents. I believe, like I said, it's old school wrestling is where it's at. So
definitely, that's what I really like about SICW. I just started going to their matches a few years ago, and they got me hooked right from the get go.
Yep, absolutely. So like, you're not going to be disappointed. And like you said, this coming Saturday night in Belleville, you definitely want to make sure you're missing that one. Yeah, Dick the Bruiser's Library. Yeah,
Herb has that.
Yep,
they've had a couple of matches on his matches on Explosion.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite parts.
So hopefully you like that. And now we're going to transition to one of our favorite ones here that Frank's going to join us here this week. Absolutely. Right now it is time for some solid gold with some Wrestling's Gold memes here tonight. And we kind of got some sort of a theme here after this first one. But we'll go ahead and kind of start off with this. It's kind of a overused meme that has been done in the wrestling style. You'll like this. Check this out. When the heel champ runs away during the match because he can't lose the title via count out. I mean, how many times you see this meme being used for? It's like a multi-purpose meme, but I saw this. I'm like, oh, this is perfect.
That's good.
With the better looking IC title over his shoulder, by the way. Well, so we'll tell you though, and we're going to get into an IC title discussion later on to the show. But
dude,
yeah, but no, I just figured that made me chuckle a little bit here, and I figured I might want to share that with others here. So that's kind of funny.
My favorite heel thing in the last 10 years, I guess, is when Randy Orton and Cena were having their matches, and Randy slapped the ref to DQ himself and left.
That's right.
One of the best things that ever happened.
Well, you talk about upsetting a crowd, boy. They were ticked.
They were so pissed. Dude.
They were so mad.
People were so mad. It was great. It was a great way. So that's automatically what my brain went to when you posted this.
glad it triggered something, man. Because I totally forgot about that. So it's a good thing you brought that up. So the rest of these have a certain theme to them now. So this is more on the dating side now. So we're going to come to some dating memes here for the rest of these. So for this next one, when you switch out your grandfather's heart medication with the Bluetooth.
Oh no.
Why did that be Randy and Rick? Oh, that's funny. That's funny as heck. Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah.
That's too good.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when I saw that. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, that's too funny. Oh, we're ready for now. We seen this probably about a couple weeks ago, but we're gonna bring it up here again. It's been posted in We Talk Wrestling, but it's what Austin? He's already. It's been longer than 4 hours. Wow. Oh no.
Taking Space Mountain to a whole new level.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I could go other ways with that, but I'm not going to. So let's see. For the next one, like I was saying here, divorced men after 40 on dating apps.
That's such a good one.
Just trying to get the right selfie.
Such a good one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, poor Triple H.
Wow. You think that's good? What about when a newly divorced mom goes out for the first time in 7 years? It's Jericho. Oh my. That's pretty.
I still love Chris. He's one of the best.
You think from the learning tree, not the dress like. Oh, never mind. Nice blouse, Chris. Nice blouse. And I think our final one here. What was our final
Mrs.
one?
Garrison.
When mom divorces dad, you have to help him set up his Tinder account.
Why has he got a lampshade?
Hogan's had a few. He's had a few. So that's too funny, Nick. My dad. Click here. You put your picture there, and you save. Hulk don't have to worry about that these days, and hopefully he's found the one he's gonna spend the rest of his life with, because the man is done. He's already got enough alimony as it is. So poor guy. Oh. But that's it for this week in Wrestling Gold Memes, everybody.
That was a good group.
Yeah, we got a
the Blue Chew one. That one. I'm so glad you didn't share that with me, because usually, like, we'll find one and we're like, oh, that's funny, and we'll share it with each other. I'm so happy you did not share that with me.
Oh no, yeah, like I said, I want to try to get the most organic response possible when it comes to these, but sometimes
that was good.
Yeah, awesome, man. So looking here, going back to I'm up. Okay, so Frank, if you could freeze any time period of Wrestling at the Chase, so you can relive it like in a certain, as far as like certain years. Like I know that it was from like 59 to 83.
Okay.
At least from the Sam Muchnick era, because after that it was pretty much Vince trying to just market off of his own New York territory for that other year after that. But if you could freeze any time period of wrestling so you can relive it in person, what would it be, and what would make that time frame special to you?
I'd probably say from 79 to 80.
Oh, okay.
That was my wheelhouse. That's, when I was going to the matches like I said, every other week. Just being able to relive some of the matches, that I saw, the Flair, Brody, Von Erich, any of the Von Erichs against Harley Race, Ken Patera against Jack Briscoe, the Battle of the Claws between David Von Erich and Von Raschke. That was a pretty good match as well. It's just, I think that was just a magical time in St. Louis,
Yeah,
and wrestling as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, from 75 to 88, I'd say 86 ish. That period of wrestling was just crazy.
Yeah,
Yes.
Wrestling overall was just crazy.
Yeah. So he's taking a chunk out of the Chase era, like that is like the best. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Even that, like 79 to 80 was really good, but anything that still was Sam had, and I know that Larry tried carrying it after he retired, and they shut it down in September of 83, and then Vince comes in to try to revamp wrestling at the Chase, and it just wasn't the same anymore. It just wasn't the same product.
Yeah, I did go to Larry's matches after he left the St. Louis Wrestling Club when he started up his own promotion, and I've got those programs as well. It only lasted, I think, eight total shows, something like that.
Well,
wasn't long enough in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's also a lot of work too.
Yeah.
And back in them days, I mean, like I said, I put anywhere between like 11 or 12 shows myself when I was trying to promote over in Evansville, and everybody's got to be on board and do their part. You can't be one person carrying the load, and who knows, maybe it just got too much. It maybe got too much. I don't know. I don't know the story behind it. I'm sure probably Herb may have a story behind it. But at least you can say you did it. You tried, and you try to keep the guys, a place to work and try to carry out the lineage of St. Louis wrestling. For the longest time, St. Louis was the wrestling capital of the world, and like I said, even Ric Flair said it, that if you didn't get down to St. Louis, and you're a professional wrestler, you didn't get down to St. Louis, then you needed to, because that would have got you places. That would have got you on the map in the wrestling world, is getting down to St. Louis. And that's where, because, Sam knew how to work and Sam knew how to book.
Yep.
So...
And Missouri title was considered a stepping stone to the NWA world title, but
Right.
not all the Missouri champions went on to be world champions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, it was more of a secondary. I wouldn't necessarily call it a mid-card title, but more of like a secondary title.
Sure. Yes.
Because, like, absolutely. Yeah. So Larry was one who brought Ric Flair to St. Louis. So, it wasn't from the Carolinas. It was from Minnesota, because I believe Flair was out from, with her. I believe. Well,
no, Flair was in the Carolinas.
He did go to Mid-Atlantic after Minnesota.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So my mistake. But yeah, and one thought that I just keep, that comes across my mind is like, as I go to these shows and I think about this, I'm like, I would have given anything just to take myself back 20 years before I was born to see if I would have been tough enough to hang with these guys, as I got out of high school, like it would be like in the mid 70s, and I could see what it'd be like to wrestle at these events. That to me that would have been awesome. But I get that feeling though with when I wrestled down at the Missouri Athletic Club, getting that nostalgia feel, and just the way that the round tables were. Man, I'll tell you that's just to me that's one of the highlights of my career there is being down there. And
Very cool. Very cool.
yeah, just so getting that old nostalgia feel, because that's what it is. And even Austin Cage can even tell you, because of him being down in Evansville and the Coliseum, and because I've seen how the Coliseum is and how the lights drum down in the center and give you that old school feel and everything, and it's a nice auditorium, even though that building is old. Yeah, like I said,
that's one of the cool things about Kiel was that the balcony, came out over the seats that were underneath it. So you kind of had better, my favorite seats was front row balcony right in the middle of where the ring was. That's where I always went until a buddy of mine was able to start getting ringside tickets for us.
Yeah. And that's what I remember about the few times I was down to Kiel too. And I do remember that top, do I want to say mezzanine that was up there, and how it did hang over. And that it just the whole, I just had to look around, just take in the art of the building itself. Because it's just something else. And then, because I was down there for a few NWA shows, and of course when Starrcade 90 was there, and that was my first pay-per-view in attendance with my father, which is something that holds dear to me. So, and it's like I said, something like, making those memories you don't forget,
Exactly. Yep.
And man, it's just so, yeah. But Z was right on the nose, though. I think for just in wrestling in general, for the territories and everything else, from like 75 to even like mid 80s.
It was 85 is really the cutoff, in my opinion.
Pretty much, I would think, because a lot of it is, like I said, the Crockett's were taking over going down to Georgia, taking over Georgia Championship Wrestling, and then they syndicated on TBS. And of course, freaking Vince and up in New York, and you really didn't hear much on the West. Other beyond Central States, anything west beyond Central States wrestling, you didn't really hear anything else. Bob Geigel, I think, was still running through like 86, I believe.
Yeah, 86 when Crockett bought him out as well. Yeah.
Yep. That's why I said Bob Geigel was going up to like 86, and then Crockett bought him out. So it's like, yeah.
Good old golden era of wrestling.
Yes, sir.
So you kind of touched on it already, that you've had the chance to meet some of these guys and get your programs signed and all that kind of stuff with the Fan Fest 1 and 2 that SICW put on, and some of the other shows that Mr. Herb Simmons have put on with wrestlers coming in. Give us a breakdown of one of those experiences that might have been one of your favorite experiences, that they got to see the program from back in the time. Like, holy cow, this is a piece of history, and you're having it signed.
It was probably the first Fan Fest with Ted DiBiase. He checked out the program and everything. I think it was might have been a world title match with Harley Race that he signed for me, and I had actually gave him an old program that had his father in it. I gave that to Ted at that Fan Fest, and he just was mesmerized sitting there looking at it, and he didn't tear up, but I think he almost did. And at the same Fan Fest, I gave an old program to J.J. Dillon, who was at that first Fan Fest as well, from I think it was San Antonio from like 71. Man, and he was like the main event guy, at that point there. And I've talked to his daughter at the CSE this past year, and she goes, I remember that. She goes, Dad really loved that program.
That's
So
awesome.
it was cool, you know.
Getting to share those moments, like something that impacted you as a fan, and then getting to pass it on to the art form, the artist that painted those paintings basically for us and gave us those memories. That itself is flipping amazing.
Yep. I had an old 8x10 of Vern Gagne that I gave to Greg Gagne at the first Fan Fest, and he's like, "I've never seen this picture of Dad," you know. So
Wow.
you know, that was pretty cool too.
Man.
There'd been a moment that I would have wanted to been a fly on the wall, and we were there.
I think that's the first time I met you was at the Fan Fest, Miz, and that was at the matches later on that night. We sat
next to each other. Yeah.
Yep.
He sat with myself, Isaac, Kevin, and my son. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you guys were ahead of us, right? You're in front of us.
We're right in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a good old time.
Yep.
Damn. Talk about some spectacular memories of the of those fan fests, and just the guys that are coming in and making everything cool again. That was back in the past, and I think this past year's fan fest though, it just kind of threw me off with promoting The Godfather and coming in, and then next thing you know, I'm seeing Papa Shango. I'm like,
what's really funny about
Papa
that?
Shango here?
you know what's really funny? He's done like 4 other like meet and greet things where they were showing Godfather, and he came out painted as Papa Shango. So FanFest 2 wasn't the only one.
Yeah,
because they did one in New York, I think, where he dressed as Papa Shango too.
Yeah. So so that was funny. Because I've seen some clips of him in like he would go and like order something. He had the Papa Shango voice, and then they would like not have something that he was asking for. Then he just break out in like normal like Godfather voice while he was still.
I had an enjoyable time with him. So,
man,
a memory that cannot get erased from my head.
Man, so I think we've got one more here. Oh yeah, it's me. Sorry, I gotta go back up here. Here we go. Okay, so with all the media you've collected to date, and we've talked about this. I mean, we've probably even been discussed on here because we're kind of trying to make sure that nothing's burned. But
I said it again in here too earlier.
yeah. But what would you do to help preserve the wrestling at the Chase era as one of the best old school eras in professional wrestling history, and making sure that every wrestling fan knows about it?
Well, the part I'm doing is with the Facebook page, sharing these and having people share their memories and their programs as well. I don't know what else I can, do to preserve this other than, some kind of museum where we can set that stuff up. Yes. Herb.
Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sometimes that's all we can do, as far as trying to keep everything, in perspective, as far as, it's kind of hard, sometimes, because there's so much going on with media, social media and everything else. But, I think as a general, they're trying to keep, these eras of wrestling alive, as far as what set the standard for what's being put out there today. Because one of the best storytellers is in an era like Wrestling at the Chase, and then of course, you've had Mid Atlantic, you've got Georgia, you've got all these guys, and these are guys that knew how to cut a promo on the mic, like what I was saying before, you just hand somebody a microphone, introducing them, and then they just tell the entire story out without, the person conducting an interview asking a question.
Right.
It's like, it's like, what? He's like, here you go, have a mic. Whenever you're done, just give it back. Or like, Tony Schiavone's done it many times. David Crockett's many times when you go to watch the old school World Championship Wrestling that was on for about 5 years or so, before it transformed into WCW. So, I mean, but yeah, it's something to behold, in regards to as far as making things happen. uh what I'm trying to say here is, it has to take a lot as far as everybody doing their part that's a big fan of it, like myself. Like, I'm always gonna go to bat for old school. Always gonna go to bat for old school. If I see something that's too acrobatic, that should be in Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus, then I'm not going to promote it. So, I'll just tell them to knock it off and then move on. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something. Yeah, I mean, all we got to do is just preserve it and keep the memorabilia alive by keeping it preserved.
Yes.
I don't know. I tried saving some things here. I think the oldest thing I have from right now, sports wise, that's probably in a container, is whenever the St. Louis Rams won the Super Bowl, and I still got the entire paper in the article still like in a plastic case still. So, but I don't have it in a frame or anything. I just like have it laid out and nothing's on it. It's like the only thing in the case, like a lot of other newspapers. So, what?
Hey, a couple years ago, I got a collection from somebody that was a bunch of stuff that belonged to Bobby Shane, who was a wrestler from St. Louis that made his name down in Florida during the 70s. That died in a plane crash. That was also with Buddy Colt, Austin Idol, and Gary Hart was on this plane, but Bobby Shane was the only one that died in that accident. And I came in, a friend of mine gave me his dad's collection that was a lot of Bobby Shane's actual property. And some of the things in there, was like a bunch of 8x10s of all these old wrestlers from the 50s and 60s, programs, from Hawaii, where Bobby Shane was, teaming with Nick Bockwinkel back in the early 70s. And one of the things that I did get that I thought was really, really cool was a ticket stub from 1948. It was going to be the unification bout between Orville Brown and Lou Thez to merge the two NWA organizations into one. But Orville Brown was in a car accident and ended his career, and they just gave Lou Thez the unified title at that time.
Wow.
But I have that ticket stub. That was part of Bobby Shane's collection. Bobby Shane could have been, he was like one of the top heels at that time when he passed away. So
wow. Yeah, man, that's something else. Yeah, I mean, as far as with when you collect these things, you don't know how long someone's going to be around, and like I said, I wish I would have had some. Actually, even when we're talking about the '90s, I wish I had some more of the stuff, with Brian Pillman, or with him tragically dying, or even something even with Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, with him tragically dying. These guys going in their 30s. It's you wouldn't think something like that would happen, but it's happened. So, um, yeah, it's a bummer, but we got to do our best to preserve the best of classic wrestling and keep it moving forward. So, like I said, so Classic St. Louis Wrestling Programs, that's the name of your Facebook page, right? So if
Correct.
anybody wants to take a look at it, like I said, I'm sure you've got like old, photos of the posts ever made so people can take a look at the posts
Yep.
and the programs and uh so so about how many programs would you say that you have all together, from that?
Altogether, I would guess around 200, 250
I mean, that's still quite a bit
down
though.
there. Yeah.
I mean, that's still, yeah, that's definitely quite a bit, even with going back to that. I mean, 'cause there's like a program like once a month, though, right? So,
It was they had the matches every other week. So every other Friday they had matches at Kiel. So there was a
oh,
program for
okay.
each one of those. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Man.
And thanks, Herb. Um, I'm always looking to add to my collection. So hit me up on Facebook if anybody out there wants to uh, pass their collection on, sell their collection, whatever. We'll talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely, because I mean, we're always posting, our program, at least our shows on your page here, but, we always, um, always the best. We're going back into. I'm trying to see if there's any other. I don't know if there's any other pages really out there doing this. Like any other, like even if we're looking like in the Pacific Northwest with Don Owens or Southwest. So that was San Antonio. That was Joe Blanchard, I believe.
San Antonio
Right?
was Joe Blanchard. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Because I don't know.
you
I
had
mean,
Paul Bosch
kind
down in Houston that had some great matches going as well.
yeah. Absolutely.
I do
So,
miss the old territory days.
oh
Definitely.
yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. 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 Like I say, I mean, what, down in Texas with the Von Erichs and everything else. So,
Yep.
but no, yeah, so Class of St. Louis Wrestling Programs is where you can find all the great memorabilia too. And like I said, there was other pages like from other territories doing this. I mean, uh, if like something like that with all different territories should come together and just like put in one conglomerate page as well. I mean, just kind of compare and just share
Yeah.
each other's programs because I mean, these guys went everywhere back in those days. So,
Oh yeah. Yep.
man, you going to be down at SICW Saturday?
Actually, I'm going to be in California, but I'm
All
hoping
right.
uh, Jim's wife will live Facebook where I can see what's going on Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate missing this show. It's going to be a big one.
Oh my God. Yeah. This is probably going to be one of the biggest ones of the year.
Yep.
Um,
One of the funnest thing about it is I've been bringing my granddaughters to the shows.
oh no, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Over the last year. So it's like, fourth generation going from my dad down to my granddaughters. And they absolutely have a blast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, that's awesome to get. Teaching the young ones the best or letting them see the best wrestling around.
Yes.
The style of old school that'll never phase out. To me, it
Exactly.
won't. So,
Right.
man, that's awesome. Well, man, definitely enjoy your time on your vacation and definitely safe travels. And like I said, we thank you for sharing everything here with us here, man. I mean, I definitely had a great time in Vegas, man.
I did too. Yeah.
Shoot, man, that was something else. And
Thank you for inviting me on your show. It was awesome.
yeah, man, that's what was it? His granddaughter was like, "Yo, Steven." What?
That's a little sarcasm there.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, the last month's match, Kowalski made my granddaughter cry.
Oh,
He was leaving the ring and she was yelling at him, and she's 7. She's yelling at him, and he turns around and growls at her, and she ran to her mom crying like a little baby.
oh yeah. I mean, he's that big guy growling at you, going
Right.
on a little 7-year-old. Heck yeah, I'll be crying all the way home too. So
I told her
man.
I told her, you got to toughen up. If you're gonna dish it out, you got to take it. So.
That's right.
Baron Corbin made my son cry. Beat up shit.
Corbin.
Yeah, so we went. The first show that we ever took Chase to was Father's Day weekend, St. Louis, Money in the Bank. It's the first time the women's had their first Money in the Bank, and Baron Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura were in the match. Shinsuke Nakamura got beaten up by Baron Corbin right at the beginning of the match, and Chase broke down crying because of it. So because that's one of his favorite wrestlers. But then we've taken him. They love going to SICW. They love going with me to IEW and all the wrestling stuff I do. So it's awesome to share that passion that we have with our kids, because I catch them watching stuff now back from like old WCW days and whatnot. Chase is getting into ECW, which is cracking me up.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm taking my kids to Slamboree.
Great family entertainment.
Going what again, Frank?
Slamboree pay-per-view at the Dome.
Oh yeah,
that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I took them to that. That was their first pay-per-view.
The first like big show I went to as a kid, I was in high school, and I bought tickets to the Rosie O'Donnell versus Donald Trump Raw, and it was one of the worst experiences of wrestling in my life. I'm like, this is dumb. It was goofy, but I did get Carlito's shirt, and I have Carlito's shirt that he threw into the crowd.
Well, there you go.
Still to this day, because he's one of my favorites anyway. So I was able to grab that. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun that we get to do these things. I took my dad and my sister, and neither one of them are wrestling fans. Somebody had to drive though.
Right, yeah. Why is that?
I was not. Well, no, I think I was 16.
Oh, okay.
I was of age, but they wouldn't let me drive down there by myself.
Oh, gotcha.
So.
I wouldn't either. It's a zoo down there when it comes to the events. It's a zoo down. No matter if you're going down to Bush or if you're going down to Enterprise Center or wherever you go, it's a madhouse, man. Woo! But shoot, man. Well, Frank, I enjoyed you coming on, man. We got a chance to kind of catch up, talk some old school, and like I said, a lot of other flowing questions from our chat. And like I said, this is where we have it live. We have interactive chats, people chiming in. Yep. Like I said, it was a blast getting to get some of those additional questions, man, and just getting some feedback. And we're definitely looking forward and hopefully SICW is under the same ownership whenever you come back. I'm sorry. I mean, Stephen Nees, he's a guy. He's a crafty individual. When it comes to foreign money, I can't get behind it. So I'm just saying, man.
We got to keep it old school. We got to keep it in the Simmons family.
That's right. Got to keep it.
Like Herb said, just think if he came and considered doing FanFest 3, the money that he could dump into it, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Well, who's he bringing in? The Bollywood boys? I mean, what the hell? I mean,
dude, I'm actually down with that. The Bollywood boys do not get the respect they deserve.
Great Khali, right?
Great Khali.
That's one big dude.
Yeah, it is.
He was at that Raw that we went to. He's a big SOB.
And what, Mansoor and what's the other guy?
Well, Mansoor, that's a whole nother tag team. MXM.
Yeah, MXM. Yeah.
You want to touch tips? That's their bit. Dude, I love their feud. I love their feud with Max Caster and Anthony Bowen. I know you guys. You're old school. I'm okay with it.
Just having.
I like old school. I like wrestling, so I don't care.
Having the phrase touch tips on the show. Oh my God. Oh. There's not enough alcohol for that. But anyway.
No.
Thank you again, Frank.
Hey, guys, it was a blast up until the touch and tips.
Oh man, keep in touch, buddy, and let me know how California is, and we'll catch up after you get back. All right, man.
All right, guys. Thanks for letting me be on the show. It was a blast.
All right,
Thank
man.
you, buddy.
Thanks,
take care, guys.
You too.
Have a good one, Frank. All right.
Yeah. So, no, but I'll tell you, it's it's quite a wild ride, man. Getting down to Vegas, I think the only other thing here is when I guess another piece of advice I was like that he could give us is don't stare at a street performer unless you want to lose money. So
Let me guess that happened.
Let's just say I was the smart one. So yeah,
Just kept walking.
Yeah, well, I kept walking. I almost got somebody asking for a massage at 1 a.m. I'm like, no, lady, I'm going to bed. Leave me alone.
Never mind. I'm going to leave that alone.
Yeah, I think so. Oh my God. Yeah, I think as much fun as I had, to be honest here, I haven't had that much. I haven't drank so much in 2 years though. When I was down there,
Dang.
The beer was flowing, but I was on vacation. I didn't care. So anyway, but I'm good. I'm good for it. So let's kind of get into to our ending part here, because we're going to actually, if I get a chance to get the artwork up here, because we've got our next couple shows that we got scheduled here. But big news from last Raw. Was it last Raw that we had that Intercontinental Championship?
Oh, bro.
You're excited.
Dude, I was so pumped. Like, going into it, I think I was messaging Isaac, and I was like, dude, if they don't put the belt on him, I'm going to be pissed. They don't. And I started late. I started really late. So it's like 12 o'clock now when I'm watching the match, and Amy and I are playing Ark as I'm watching the match. And so I'm focused on the match because the match was stellar, for one. Let's put that out there. Braun Breaker and Jey Uso gave us one hell of a main event for TV. Like, not to mention that Ludwig Kaiser and Sammy gave us an amazing match at the earlier start of the show, but these two took it home in what was easily one of the most emotional things. And then he finally gets the 1, 2, 3, and Jey Uso is now IC champion. Let's go! I yelled, and my wife's like, stop it, you're gonna wake the kids. No kids woke up.
yeah, sorry, honey, the kids woke up. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, but no, it was I'm telling you, man, that I was actually, honestly, I was shocked.
Dude, I was blown away and pumped.
Yeah, I was I didn't think, because he didn't even have it for 60 days. Didn't even have it for 60 days.
Braun doesn't. This is what people don't understand. Is Braun's so good that having a short run is not going to hurt him. It's not going to kill the guy. It's not going to anything. The dude's so much talent. It's not funny. Jey Uso deserves this. He needed this. If you're going to call somebody main event and you're going to continue to lose title match after title match after title match after title match, how can you call him main event anymore?
Right. And
this feeds in to what will hopefully happen with Bad Blood and all that kind of stuff and the build-up. Who knows? After SmackDown, I really have no idea, because now it looks like they're going in a different direction potentially for Survivor Series.
I know. So, I don't know. And in the other notable thing, because when I was talking earlier about when we showed the meme with Leonardo DiCaprio having the IC title, like the best looking title, they've actually made an improvement with this belt. They've actually put color in with where the globes were at the outer side. So they've actually putting some color into it. That, like I said, it just looked kind of plain, but now I'm liking the color into it. Now they've actually added a little bit of color to it, and they need to add some color in with their with the side medallions for the guys who win it. So hopefully, I'll be a bigger fan of this belt because it just looks so plain Jane. You know what I'm saying? It just.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm not saying it's come a long way. It's had to have its different renditions, it seems, but I'm still down with the design itself. But I agree that it needed that pop of color. So I'm not. You're definitely not wrong there.
Yeah. I guess some other notables here is we're probably going to get after all. Xavier Woods getting ready to bust on Kofi here and just go flat out, go off on him and leave. So I think we're getting ready to see that. So despite the whole Odyssey Jones issue going on, we're still going to get it, and obviously we're probably going to get a Kofi Xavier feud that's probably not going to go past. It's not going to go. It'll carry on to Raw, but I don't know how long it's going to carry. But it's not going to carry to something big. It's just going to be notable that the New Day can't make it to 10 years, and they're going to be bust up. So I don't think they're not going to make it 10 years. So, and I don't even know if they'll even put Big E even in a storyline for that too. So,
well, story is he has a scan coming up that if everything goes according to plan, he should be potentially back on the track to coming back to the ring, hopefully. So shout out to Big E. Hopefully he gets healed because damn, I miss him.
Yeah. I guess it's not been noted here on these results here, but Drew McIntyre comes out and gives a promo again. It was basically the same promo that Punk did the week before. It's like they basically said like the same thing to each other. It's kind of
redundant.
Yeah, it's kind of redundant. It's like I'm honestly waiting for this thing just to be done with, because if they can't come up with anything creative, because I wouldn't think it'd be a creative thing, but it's like you guys got to be something original. You got to come with something else original or get something different. But I'm ready for this to be done with at Bad Blood anyway. And where they go after that, I'm not sure, but I'm sure they'll have a nice creative direction for it. And then what about the whole last month, which by the way, Raw is in Evansville.
It's coming
tomorrow night. And Austin Cage has already said that he's already seen WWE trucks there. So, last monster standing. So
let's bring it home, Bronson Reed.
Yeah, do we get a definite finish on this one before Bad Blood, or do we see these guys wipe each other out again and then there's no contest?
No. Bronson Reed is coming home with that. He's winning that last monster standing match.
He needs to. I mean, Strowman's had his time, but you need to give Bronson. To me, Bronson Reed has been more definite, especially with the way he took out Seth Rollins, R-Truth, The Miz, which, by the way, that's when Braun Strowman interfered in the match between Bronson Reed and The Miz, and that's how they got their whole stir. I mean, they're just tearing.
Those two are
all up.
It reminds me, like, the thing I like about these two going at it is a match that I think doesn't get the respect that it deserves because it was in an era that I don't think Big Man got represented correctly, and that's Big Show versus Mark Henry. I can't remember what pay-per-view that match was at, but those two, like, when you first looked at it, because in that era, in that time frame of wrestling, it was just like, this match is going to be there, right? kind of thing. But then those two went in and tore it down, and they're like throwing each other through barricades and stuff, and just like that match was amazing. Like it was just what it was supposed to be: two big men destroying each other and using the whole arena for that. So that's what I'm hoping with this match is we just get a whole arena big man destruction thing, because if you can go back to like the Attitude Era when like Kane and them were just throwing dudes off the Titantron and stuff, I'm all for that. Like, let's please bring that back. And these two are the perfect candidates to bring something like that back.
Yeah. But I think even though Big Show and Mark Henry got around pretty well, these guys are going at it. They're taking it to another level.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And that's actually going to be my interest. My interest is going to be in that match tomorrow night on Raw.
Is it the main event, you think? I think so.
I think it should be.
I 100% think it should be.
I don't see what else could be overlooking that last Monster Standing match. So it should. Yeah, I think it should be the main event. Honestly, unless if Punk and Drew want to find a way to do some type of.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Pass. Like,
he said, "No, I'm good."
not that I don't enjoy listening to those two, but I'm kind of in the same boat with you. I'm just ready for this Hell in a Cell match, and let's call it that. And there's nothing. Once again, nothing against both competitors, nothing against both guys. They tell stories in this era probably better than most, all to be exact, in my opinion. But the story's kind of played itself out. I'm ready to move on. It's been good. It's been fun, and I think they're going to tear it down in the Hell in a Cell and let bygones be bygones, hopefully. And maybe touch each other later on down the road, get back at each other, but not right now.
Yeah, not right now. I definitely get it. Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and move on here to NXT with interesting enough, this last one that was on the USA Network. So USA went off with a pretty big bang. With the whole show off, or at least signing or face off between Julia or I guess they did a whole bunch of press conferences, which by the way,
I dig it. I'm with it.
Yeah. Well, with Julia,
cool.
Yeah, Stephanie so Julia and Roxanne Perez, answering questions supposedly, and then of course getting ready for the big match this coming Tuesday. But interrupting that was Stephanie Van Coor, which I was like, oh.
So excited.
Oh man, we're getting. Is this when you think it was getting good? I mean, like this women's division right now is really stacked. And then we just added another layer on with Stephanie Van Coor coming in and interrupting.
Saying doesn't matter who wins, I'm going for next.
Right. Love it though. But do you think it's Roxanne's time to be dropping that strap?
So you're asking the wrong person, because I'm not a Roxanne fan. I still don't buy into her. Like, hell of a talent, great competitor, and she has great matches. But I'd rather see, for one, Miss Parker should have been in that spot. But
I totally agree, because that's my top girl there in NXT right now. That's my top right there right now.
So there's so many women down there right now that are just almost too good for their own benefit for that group. And once again, that's not taken away from Roxanne. I think Roxanne's an amazing talent. So, but she's too small, in my opinion, for me.
Yeah.
So it throws it off. And then she gets like next to Sol Ruca, who's like 5 something or better, 5'8" or something like that. And she's towering, and that woman has so much talent of herself. I'm not a. So yes, I think it's their time to go on. And I'm with kind of Punk on this. It's almost time for her to make the jump up to the main roster. I think she's overstayed her welcome in NXT a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, now I'm just thinking about this, the way that her mannerisms and the way she looks and the way she carries herself, it almost seems like it's a 2020s version of AJ Lee, somewhat.
Yeah,
I
I don't
mean,
like no AJ Lee's so
almost.
okay.
Almost.
I can get you with that. I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but
I
AJ
mean,
Lee was in a league on her own in her time frame.
right. And I totally get that. And but I say kind of like, but not exactly
No,
like.
I'm with you on it.
Yeah, because definitely AJ Lee was better than Roxanne Perez. I
And I'm just tired of Booker T talking about her every time she comes.
bro, I'm tired of Booker T talking. Period. So
No, I kind of get with Booker T a little bit on his commentator. He's not my favorite commentator by any means.
Bro,
so
yeah, I could take off a few hours a week early. Every time I've had $1 for every time I heard oh, it's like bro, you shut up.
I would rather like. All honesty, if Big E can't come back, can we switch Booker T with Big E? Because I think Big E would be an amazing commentator.
No, Big E. I'm telling you, man, Big E is, if he doesn't do anything with storylines or anything else, obviously he does like at the kickoff desk or anything else of that nature, but he would be a great replacement for Booker T. Sorry, not sorry, Booker.
I love Booker. I just think Booker could be used better. He'd be a better manager, in my opinion, for a group that couldn't talk. Put him as a tag team, tag team manager of a tag team that doesn't have they don't really have the mic skills, and have because Booker T's still good. You can't dislike Booker T. It's just he doesn't do it for me on commentary. He didn't do it for me back when he was on SmackDown as commentator. Like, Booker T's just not my guy when it comes to commentating. And he's one of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
King Booker was amazing. Harlem Heat was fantastic. You know, the 5-time stuff back in WCW was amazing. Like, I'm not taking away anything Booker T. Just take him away from the table, please.
Yeah, like we've had enough. And what about the tear that Rich Holland has been going through now, going through Chase U? Basically tearing up Riley Osborne again. I mean, he is just on a tear now.
Can we have Mr. Chase come back and put everything back in order?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if Andre Chase gets over on Rich Holland, it's going to have to be the help of the rest of Chase U. But Rich Holland is just tearing through like mad, and boy, I don't know. And the thing that it was kind of interesting how that's going to go because let's kind of talk about though with like I said, the debut on the CW network actually was doing a WrestleMania behind the curtain airings over this weekend. So they're trying to hype with NXT coming over to the CW on Tuesday. So big match implications with Trick Williams and Ethan Page, the CM Punk special guest referee.
I had bad feelings for my boy.
Well, I don't know. I think Drew McIntyre is going to make a stop because
possibly. I agree.
Yeah, we all keep forgetting that Drew McIntyre was former NXT champion.
Correct.
So it's not. He had to. After he left WWE and he did his whole stunt with Impact and everything else, he came back and had to go through NXT. He had to go through the whole.
He asked to go through NXT.
What a freaking era that was. I mean, from like 2015 on, when they started having these takeovers and they went to Takeover Brooklyn, when he had his run as champion, and then of course he got hurt. He tore like a tricep or something, and he dropped the title to Andrade that night, I believe. Yep. And then when he just recovered, he showed up on the main roster. So he did his stint, but man. And,
I'm excited that the rumors, or I don't know if it's rumors, but I saw somewhere that supposedly CW is going to have it as TV 14.
Huh. Well, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm actually kind of psyched because, like I said, they're going to keep everything at the Allstate Arena in Chicago. Uh, um, well, now I just thought about this. So they are actually, because I was thinking that maybe Raw was there the day before, but they're in Evansville, so they're making their own trip to Chicago for this booking. So it
Correct.
makes you kind of wonder how packed is that Allstate Center going to be. I mean, just for NXT. I mean, do you think NXT got enough exposure or enough fan base to where they're going to at least overcapacitate the arena? I mean, probably won't sell it out. If they sell it out, I'll be amazed. But at least get at least 10,000 seats in there. I think I'd be pretty
I
happy for them.
I think they'll probably get a decent number of seats filled. For one, what did they do? What did they do for this first show in Chicago? Who did they put on the marquee?
Well, they put on CM Punk, so they should be able to fill it. You would think.
They're gonna come just to see CM Punk.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna it's almost one of those things, and I hate to say it this way, but it's almost one of those things where WWE's throwing shade at AEW without throwing shade.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Really, be honest with yourself. If they sell out that arena in Chicago with the NXT group and the fact that CM Punk is the referee, the writing's on the wall there. Because how many people want to go see CM Punk?
Right.
A lot.
Yeah, a ton.
So, I mean, I say at least 10,000.
Yeah, at least 10,000. And then you got like two big cards. Their first two big cards, and like you said, their second one here is coming to St. Louis on your birthday.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
nobody still bought me tickets,
bro. You should see how much these tickets are going for here. There's like some VIP seats for the factory in Chesterfield, which is a suburb of St. Louis. But at the factory, $500 for a VIP. I'm like, bro, are you serious? I mean, is that like $500 for like a VIP seat to get be seen on TV? I mean, it's kind of I don't know, man. I love NXT, but I don't think I love it that much. But with Randy, big matches announced. Randy is taking on Javon Evans.
Oh my god, that match is gonna be amazing.
That's gonna be a good match. And then Axiom and Frazier are taking on good lord.
Why'd you make me forget him now?
Oh yeah, I know. That was pretty bad.
Grayson Waller and
oh yeah, there's A-Town Down Under. Thank you. Yeah,
you literally made me brain fart.
I know. I've had a long day. It's
all right.
I've actually had a long day.
Yeah, NXT is listed with a TV 14 rating on CW.
Well,
I literally just dug into it.
It's like a public viewing network. Like you can get it like on Antenna TV, like one of the digital boxes. So it's not like a cable network. So you kind of wonder what they're going to be able to get by with.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I think NXT's hot, and I think it's been the hottest it's ever been. And to think that it started as a stupid reality show based freaking product.
Yep.
That's what blows my mind is how far it's come, and now it's legitimately getting third brand feels.
Yep. Oh man, I can't spell for anything when I'm in a hurry. Excuse me. What was I gonna say? I know what I was gonna say. So I don't know how much, because apparently this whole Grand Slam thing is
it was Dynamite and Collision.
So I missed the whole triple threat with the Dark Age Sin Cara and the foil Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm still
calling. It was
calling.
actually really good. It was a good luchador match, and I'm still a big fan of luchador matches, and that's exactly what that match was. It was a straight up CMLL AAA luchador match. That's what it was, and it was good. It was a great trio, three-way, triple threat.
Yeah, we're going back to Dynamite on Wednesday though, with Danielson defeating Nigel McGuinness, and then of course, so we got
news.
the final match. We had the final FTW Championship match with Hook defending against Roderick Strong successfully. And since they're in Long Island, he actually presented the title back to his dad, Taz, and retired the championship. So thank God. And it's like
it was fun.
I mean, yeah, I guess it was kind of like the $1 Million Championship in WWF. It wasn't really a sanctioned match, but if you put it on the line, if you win it, you win it.
It was enjoyable, and it did what it's supposed to do. It helped, not Roderick Strong. It helped kind of solidify Hook in AEW. It helped with Ricky Starks a lot when he was carrying it. I actually enjoyed Jericho having it and calling it for the world title. Like
for the world title.
Like that was fun. And the funny part is Taz even called it that when Hook came out, the for the world title. So like it was fun that they kind of changed it and played that up. It's cool that Taz got that moment with his belt that he created. I'm okay with it. I wasn't mad at all about that whole thing.
Yeah. So, and so you kind of wonder where they're going to, where does Hook? Well, honestly, you and I lightly talked about it off the air, but apparently we're not going to get any strong storylines anytime soon. I'm guessing, other than maybe Swerve and Strickland and Adam Page, maybe. And then, of course, the other match we're going to note here is Darby Allin losing to Jon Moxley. And then, of course, also losing his championship title opportunity where Moxley will be wrestling Danielson at Wrestle Dream on October 12th. So,
yeah, you have one of those. My big issue with both of these things, the match that started and the match that ended, the losers look like goofballs.
Yeah.
And Darby Allin shouldn't get treated that way. Darby does really good work. He's a fun talent of the new generation. Little too reckless on my behalf sometimes, but I still like him. Like I have his figure because I think he's a great guy, and I want to see him go farther. But putting your title title chance up for no reason, really. I still have issues with that storyline, but I have issues with that storyline even if it's in WWE. It's really goofy that sometimes these guys put their title shots up when they have this guaranteed title shot. And then the Nigel stuff, it really didn't do anything for Nigel. Like it didn't was it supposed to be just a blow off for the fans? That's what it seems like, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
It was kind of that, bringing back that homage to those two in the ROH back in the day. Nigel to me is still the better of the two. Like if what happened to Nigel in TNA didn't happen,
yeah,
I don't think Daniel Bryan would have the sail beneath his wings that he does. But hey, whatever, it was fun.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes
and he tried to get his licks back on Moxley afterwards too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other thing is I only watch Dynamite, because usually Rampage is a 1 hour show and it's kind of a blow off just to do a couple matches. But I didn't realize
Willow Nightingale was on there though, and she was baller.
Oh God, well, I missed something good then.
Yeah, yeah. She was the main event, throwing down. She has one of the best power bombs. I love her power bomb. The sit down that she does, Willow Nightingale. But now she's supposed to be she's getting ready to go for the world title, I think.
Oh, and Mariah May?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, well, we'll see if that happens at Wrestle Dream, too. So, like I said, that's just under...
Collision was okay. It was fun.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah. All right, so...
I got to see House of Black.
We don't talk about AEW. Well, we talked about AEW. So
I got to see House of Black.
Yeah. House of Black. Let's see. Well, gosh, TNA though, man, I was excited for TNA. Um, so so apparently we're Rose the whole team with Rosemary and Wendy Chu. Man,
Love
I'm
it.
telling you, man.
Love it.
And the way that Rosemary is hunting down Jordan Grace, makes you wonder if that's going to be pretty much. If are we looking at Rosemary Jordan Grace for Bound for Glory? You know, um, it's yet to be determined. But a lot though is because there were some other elements that were in that. Which, by the way, Jordan's surprise partner was Sol Ruka, which I was very pleased. I mean, those two worked good together. I mean, all four. I mean, it was a really good, solid tag match. And then Tasha Steelz had to come in and start flooring down Jordan Grace. Uh, and then, Masha Slamovich came down and shoot her off. So that's why I don't know where we're going right now in the Knockouts title picture. You know,
I'm seeing either a triple threat or a fatal 4-way at Bound for Glory for the women's title.
at least with Tasha Steelz and Rosemary involved with that.
Yeah.
But I don't see Wendy Chu in the mix though.
No. So then you'd be triple threat.
Yeah, probably just be a triple threat though. But man, that would be a test though. That would be a test of with Tasha Steelz and yeah. I'm kind of wondering how long Alicia Edwards is out for concussion protocol though.
That's a good question.
Yeah, because I mean she wasn't in action again. She just still causing hell from the outside. So, and then man, what about a good six man? Well, first of all, Jonathan Gresham, the octopus, coming in, man. Well, I'll tell you, he is just a work of art with Jonathan Gresham. And but the thing is, as much as he's done, he comes out toward the end in an aggressive manner, and he gets a win by just repeatedly spiking the Laredo Kid's knee into the canvas, and he's just screaming. The referee calls it like it's a submission. That just kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm like, okay, I don't know. It's just,
well, if throughout Gresham's like whole storyline and story arc is that the octopus portion of him is the dark entity in him.
Oh.
And he's battling between like the goofball Gresham that has good matches and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Is that, and then the dark side. So I think that's what it's playing into is him slamming the knee into it. And he's just like, dude, I'm going to keep doing this if you don't like stop the match. Like I'm going to break his knee kind of thing, like his kneecap. And that's kind of where that was going, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it. Now that you explain it better, it makes perfect sense to me watching the match and the way that it ended. So, yeah, so that was, and then the six man between Zachary Wentz and ABC on one side, and then you got Speedball, Leon Slater, and Kushida on the other. And
that was a fun match.
Yeah, so Zachary Wentz and ABC getting the win on that. Liang Lee, or formerly known as Xia Li. I'm sorry. That's another one. That's another one of my favorites.
Loved it.
She did not get as much as she was supposed to get in NXT, and yeah, and then of course SmackDown they didn't really give her a chance, and I don't know why, but just
great talent.
Love watching her. Love watching. She's just. I like her entrance too, in her ring gear. Just personifies her character as a pretty much a certified badass. I love it. So looking forward to see where she goes, and of course Heather Reckless trying to get in with Ash by Elegance as far as like trying to get it was a decent match with her and Xia Brookside though.
I don't like Xia.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really either one of them. I wasn't really. I mean, they carried themselves throughout the match, okay, but it's just there was nothing exciting to me. Of course, Ash by Elegance, it's not really exciting to me either. So that's just me.
Yeah,
What I was excited though about is our number one contenders match. Yes.
We believe.
Yeah. Did you like Joe Henry's introduction to Kazarian?
Yeah. Well,
That was.
and I can't wait for him and Nick Nemeth, dude.
Oh my god.
That match is gonna be. That match is gonna be crazy off the hook.
Oh man, yeah, I can't wait. Yeah. So the only thing is, I'm happy that Joe went ahead, but now it's almost seeming to, it's going to seem to be that we're not going to really see much of Joe in NXT anymore.
No,
so,
that's all right. Next year's Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Just like Jordan Grace said.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like the WWE's partnership with TNA or working relationship with TNA is going away anytime soon.
Oh, we don't know yet. There is.
Well, yeah, we heard about this whole thing with Santino, which is kind of, why? Which the thing that doesn't make any sense. Why are you saying something about it now when he's been doing it for how long now?
Here's my issue also with this. Okay, so if they have big issues with Santino still doing his stick in TNA, then MXM and AEW.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're literally doing the same stuff they were doing. They just went more provocative with it now.
Where's the cease to stop to Tony Khan there, WWE? Where's that?
And it's Mansoor still.
Yeah. Isn't that his real name, though?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really see the guy over his real names that he's used. So, I mean, anyway. No, but I'm looking forward to it. As far as with Nick Nemeth and Joe Hendry at Bound for Glory, and that's going to be in about 4 weeks. So they're actually doing that on Saturday. So they are doing that on Saturday. So it's going to be a premium live event. So they're not going to do it on a Friday. They're going to do it on Saturday, October 26th, Bound for Glory. So we'll see what Impact brings for next week, though. Moving on to SmackDown, though. Kicking off with the women's number one contenders match. So thank God we don't get to see the Glow go after Nia Jax. We get Bayley, which, by the way, did you happen to catch Bayley's entrance?
No.
You didn't?
I must have missed
it.
They
threw the wrong graphic on her entrance. They got the right music, but they threw up the damage control art screens. Where she can, and then it was funny though because you'll probably see it on Botchmania 500, I bet. But she was all. Then somebody was yelling at her like, "Your damage." Then she looked back and she goes, "Oh, you saw that?" So I think she saw it too. It was funny. His damage control is still a pain.
That's funny. I like Naomi's gear though, with the Simon Says.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then now she's gonna be taking on Tiffy, I think.
Yeah. So Naomi and Tiffy next week or next for this.
That should be fun.
Yeah. What about Carmelo getting the win over Andrade? I already knew that was going to happen when I heard match 6. I'm like, Andrade's up 3-2. I'm like, yeah, Carmelo's going to win.
And then Michael Cole at the end says, "Do we get match 7? I think we should get match 7." Like, but at the same time, like these two guys.
No, I don't think so.
These two guys, I legitimately could watch over and over again. These two put on the performance of them two. They're amazing. Those two are just
yeah, they are incredible.
Those two can paint together in that canvas, and it's wonderful, and it almost like because they're feuding around like LA Knight, and LA Knight's great, right?
Yeah,
but they almost outshine him because they are just that damn good right now. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely be interesting to see. And then The whole, well, I guess, actually, no, I mean, when I said that we kicked off with the women's number one contenders match, they actually kicked off with a promo involving with, with Kevin Owens and Cody and all
Yeah.
that. Kevin's not a happy camper right now.
Well, it was cool to see Randy come out and be like, "All right, I got to talk about it. Like, I, as your friend, I don't understand why you're joining forces with Roman Reigns." And it was a really cool back and forth segment. It really was. And then to see Kevin still with that tension and that maybe not trusting Cody's decision, it really brings up questions of where it goes and how they go about it. And they really set the bar for if potentially it is Roman, Randy, Kevin, and Cody at Survivor Series versus the Bloodline.
Yeah, so I guess that's the direction we're getting right now. Because on side notes here, we're hearing that Zilla Fatu is signing with AEW.
Yep.
So that right there, and I heard that he backed out of a GCW booking over money. So more than likely, this is probably a better paycheck with AEW. So enjoy your lack of TV time, but yet you're getting the coin, buddy. So, I mean, I think he could have had a lot better, interesting, building himself up as a character and getting better work and a better crowd by going to WWE. But hey, that's his choice, and hopefully he gets something good out of it. So.
But I really could see Zilla being one of AEW's like flagship guys too. Like if they booked him right and pushed him correctly and used him like not in a sense as a John Moxley, but John Moxley's pretty much everywhere on AEW TV. If they did more stuff like that with him, with Zilla, he could be a standout guy for them because Zilla has a backing. And Zilla's crazy, man. The matches that dude's been in and done, so like he fits that bill for AEW. And I'm as much as I'm disappointed that he's not going to WWE because I'd love to see him go to WWE. Yeah. I'm kind of curious and kind of intrigued on if he actually is going to AEW and how they use him. So I'm okay with it. I'm not against it.
Yeah. But like I said, it's his choice, and we'll see how that plays out, man. I think really the only other thing here that we were going to talk about, because I said this Saturday, Bad Blood, and I believe there's 4 matches that I see so far. There may be more coming.
There's 5.
Well, we got Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. And then the big news on Raw with the World Women's Championship when Liv faces Rhea. Dom hanging from a shark cage.
Gonna be hilarious.
Dude, that is gonna be so funny. Then of course we got the Hell in a Cell with Punk and Drew. You got a winner in that one?
You got Cody, Roman in the Bloodline, and now Nia Jax and Bayley. That's your 5 matches.
Right, yeah. Nia Jax and Bayley. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So at least we got your 5.
Please WWE let Finn win. We have to. Finn has to come out of this looking strong.
I'm going to ask for one thing further. WWE, bring back the Demon.
I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, he don't need to be face to be the Demon. In fact, he'll if he stands out as the Demon, and
Well, if that's the case, then Finn doesn't need to win. Let Priest win this one.
Yeah.
And that's what pushes him to bring back the Demon.
That's true. That's true.
So
yeah.
So if we're going to do that, if Finn gets the W now, it doesn't make sense to do something like that because I don't think we're going to get the Demon on this. We're just going to get Finn.
Yeah.
But like I said, on back posts on here, they've been teasing Finn Balor the Demon a lot lately with the lunchbox, all that kind of stuff. Like it's the Demon Balor logo they keep showing, not Finn's. Not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and then Mommy gets her title back.
Yeah, you think she'll find a way to get, so you think she's getting it back?
Yeah, Mommy gets her title back. I almost want to say Tiffany's going to try to cash in
on either Bailey or Nia.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to happen. That, or could we see Nia? Oh wow, what if we saw Nia like lose, but then Tiffany gives her the case to cash back in, to save her ass, kind of thing.
Right. So there's another twist,
because Nia had her by the throat and said, "If I lose this, you better watch out." On SmackDown.
Right.
So what if Tiff does save Nia that way? Nia loses it, Bayley becomes champion, then gets destroyed. Because then we get Bayley as the shortest reigning women's champion. So there's a tick for her kind of thing.
Yeah.
In the history books. Nia then gets the title back because Tiffany throws the case to her. I'm just saying, like, I want to see that story because I really like Nia and Tiffany together. They're kind of just that scuzziness that needs to be a duo almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Totally get you.
Drew McIntyre wins.
So you think McIntyre comes out on top?
Yeah, McIntyre's coming out on top. And then Bloodline will take the dub over Rock and Roman and Cody, I think, somehow. And that's all of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we went over Roman, Cody, and Roman. Yeah, and then, yep. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. So so you got your 5 matches for your PLE. So
because Rikishi's right, man. You can't just feed Jacob Fatu to Cody and Roman.
Right.
This early.
Right, exactly.
So Bloodline kind of needs to go over.
Yeah.
Especially you're going to keep the storyline going further.
Right.
So yeah, Priest. Bayley wins. Nia somehow gets it back. All in one night.
Yeah.
Rhea gets the title back. Because then the Terror Twins get their little moment, and then Judgment Day can still continue that storyline.
Yeah.
And then McIntyre wins, and the Bloodline wins. Yep, that's Zmiz's call right there.
Cool. Well, you've heard it here, so we'll see how those play out. And of course, Jump Cena Mouth sees a lot further down, and of course beyond the PLE or the pay-per-view and weeks upcoming to see what at least we like to think we can see beyond that. But
I would love to be able to see beyond it. Like that'd be.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I really like living in the moment. I just love telling stories and seeing how things could change and shift and how the gears. And WWE's doing a really good job of that, like switching gears and turning it. And like 1 minute you think it's going this way, and then they're like, not so much. Like so,
right.
They're doing a fun time right now. And like I said, I know you're not an AEW fan. I am. I'm just happy to see guys having a place to work, make money, and have fun. And I kind of liked what Darby Allin said, that like AEW is the slayer of this industry. Like, it's not for everybody, but people still enjoy it and like it. And I just want to be the focus on positive wrestling experiences. And AEW is not my cup of tea all the time, but I still enjoy it. TNA is amazing. I love it. MLW, if you didn't watch Fight Pit, you're missing out because that was a great show. So MLW is still putting on hot shows. OVW is putting on hot shows. And there's a rumor that one of our guys that we just had on here recently, IEW guy, is going to be making his debut down there in OVW, and I can't wait to see that happen. I'm not going to speak on it because I don't have permission, but if it's true, hats off to him, and I clap my hands, and I'm happy to see that guy make that move with a group called Dysfunction. So at least that's what I'm thinking happens, but we'll see.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. One couple bits of business here before we get out of here tonight, as we see Jay once again with his title. We want to tell you we're trying to get ahead of the game here. So next week, hello. Well, I was here. Hello. Hello.
You'll get there. Next week.
Yeah, well, apparently I've made changes here. I thought maybe I didn't make the
Oh, I
change.
just popped my shoulders.
Ah.
Man, Frank was a great conversation tonight. And I forgot. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, dude, I've met this guy. And then he said that. I'm like, oh, I remember exactly who you were, because that's what I thought. Like, he sat right in front of us at SICW Fan Fest 1.
Here we go. So next week is official. You're just going to get us, and also we need a good promo photo of Austin Cage. So if he's going to be on this show, he
More
needs
often. We need,
yeah. So Austin Cage is going to join us next week to kind of review Bad Blood, and of course the week going on here with TNA, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, AEW, all of that. But mainly for Bad Blood, and see where we go from there. That's going to be so episode number 163. God, I can't read. Is next Sunday, October 6th at 9 p.m. Central, and a special announcement for those who are sticking around. And this has been confirmed. So for episode number 164, which will happen on Sunday, October 13th, our special guest will be Royce Adams.
This is going to be fun.
Royce Adams, if you know, shoot names in the business, the name Adams, he is actually a second generation wrestler. His father is the late great Crush. I happened to meet him down at Cauliflower Alley Club reunion down in Las Vegas. So he will be featured on episode number 164. That'll be our next featured guest that will join us on Sunday, October 13th. And so we're excited to have him on here and kind of talking about what he's done in his career. He's only done it a handful number of years, but we want to kind of get his story, how he's experienced right now in the business, and also we'll definitely be talking about about him growing up and watching his father wrestle and everything else. So it should definitely be out to be a fun show on that for episode number 164. And of course, like I said, next this coming Saturday, SICW once again in Belleville, Illinois, Belclair Fairgrounds, big show, and then with the implications of where maybe SICW goes, and of course Texan versus Kowalski, no disqualification for the classic title, and then October 12th, IEW, that's where Zmiz is going to be. Phase 3, the Algorithm, down at the Granite City, Illinois Elks Lodge at 7 p.m. And then, of course, ACW's Super Show with the Gauntlet of Glory touring main event, Battle Royal, and the Lumberjacks Farewell. And that is all on that. And also, Herb was mentioning here about the Missouri Athletic Club private show. I guess it's not really a private show if you're talking about it publicly, but anyway, that's going to be a special event where I will get to wrestle in front of a great crowd and get in that old school nostalgic feeling. So that's going to be in just under 2 weeks for me, and can't wait for it. So, like I said, so October is going to be pretty much a good stacked month coming up for us, and
I still take birthday gifts. The 8th.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Zmiz is turning another year older.
What? Austin Cage, his birthday is also in October. I think his is the 12th, if not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could ask him if he's still watching, but I don't know if he's watching. I don't think
He probably went to bed by now.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't have a YouTube viewer, so. Well, like I said, we got quite. Oh well,
he was on X today.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
He was chatting through X. Yeah,
he was chatting through X.
Yeah, we have an X. Austin was on X chatting with us.
Wait a minute. I mean, I saw the. I saw that. Where did I see? Oh, okay. I gotta go back and see where I saw, because Austin Cage. Okay, is that the X one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can comment on X. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's about damn time someone does comment on.
So once again, X, we love you guys. Thank you for showing out and being with us today. You guys killed it like usual. Once again, hit that like, subscribe. If you enjoy our stuff, go back and enjoy some of our older products. And, just come around to Falls Count Everywhere and let's talk some wrestling. And until next weekend, we love you guys.
Meet the Rick Ruby mascot,
Yellow green. You guys are amazing. Once again, hit that like, subscribe. Share with your friends. Tell your buddies. We are your wrestling fun place, man. We go back old school. We bring in new school. Enjoy.
Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, yeah, we do. But, guys, thanks for joining us again. Thanks for watching tonight. And join us next week when we're going to have the Bad Blood review and, of course, all the other weekend wrestling as well with Austin Cage. So, for the Jump City Mouth, I am Rough Cut Rick Irby. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next Sunday, everybody. Have a good week.